Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Gananaham Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamastravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrinvan Utibhitsida Sadhanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrayavatu Ganesaya Namaha Saraswatyai Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Palachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambah Skandapurvajaha Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasyad Virada Vaktradhyaha Parishadhyaha Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamastraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Manojavam Maruta Tulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmayam Vanada Yutha Mukyam Shri Ramadutam Sirasa Namami Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Namayiti Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kruta Mastakanjalim Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. Let us continue with Bhagavan's grace where we left off yesterday. Manthara came in and made it even more mysterious with Dasaratha, and she left saying, please Maharaja, take care of her, whatever her problem is, solve it. And so the king was even more confused, and so he was asking the queen, Kaikeyi, why do you keep me in the dark? And then he gently lifted her head from the floor. She was sprawled on the floor. He sat next to her, lifted her head up and put it on his lap, and kept on pleading with her to tell him what is it that was bothering her. After some time, Kaikeyi broke her silence, and then she began to speak. She said, Maharaja, you haven't forgotten, have you, the 2 boons that you promised to give me that day during the battle between the Devas and the Asuras? Dasaratha was now hearing this, was relieved. Oh, this is not a big deal. So he said, sure, Kaikeyi, why have you become so much angry and miserable and painful for the sake of the simple thing of the 2 boons? I will not forget the promise I gave. I've given you the promise of the 2 boons, and I will never forget them as long as there is life in me, as long as I live. And that promise, Kaikeyi, is as dear to me as you are. You are the breath of my life, and the promise too is the breath of my life. Now, tell me, Kaikeyi, has anyone harmed you? Or you got any health problems? Or the wicked person disobeyed you and tried to act against your will and wish? Tell me. Now, for your sake, Kaikeyi, I will even face death. That's what he said. Mortal injury I will face. I will punish those people who have been wicked to you, so that you can become happy again. Do not doubt me, Kaikeyi, he was saying. Oh, you are so charmful. Why do you suffer like this? Are you Are you not aware that the might of this whole empire is at your beck and call? Whatever you wish to have from any region, you just tell me and I'll get that for you and bring you happiness. Tell me, inform me. What is it? Why are you afraid? What is it you're afraid of? What is it that brought you so much sorrow and misery? Don't withhold anything. Don't hold back. Tell me everything. Do not hesitate. Now, just as the way the sunrise scatters the dust and the dew, even mist immediately vanishes. Like that, I will pulverize and make all your pains and sorrow disappear. So he fondled her and he flattered her and then tried various ways to console her and to bring her back to some normal spirits. Now, Kaikeyi all the while was thinking. She did not forget. She kept on reminding herself of the advice that Manthara had given her. So she was telling herself in her mind, I must not give in. I must secure from him the promise on oath before revealing my wishes to him. So, in order to induce, to make Dasaratha again promise that yes, I will keep my oath, come what may, to get that words out of his mouth, now she tried a different tactic now. She was exaggerating and she was seducing in her love towards him. She wiped the tears from her eyes and then she held firm the king's hands in hers. The king now, of course, completely enslaved, completely submitted himself to her, right? And so she even put more charm on him. And she said, "O Maharaja, O my lord," she said, no resentment. I don't have any resentment against anyone. Nobody has done me any harm, or nobody has given me any disobedience or anything like that. Nobody has insulted me, and I do not want anything from any part of the region. I mean, I have everything that I need. I don't need to go to a distant region of the kingdom and get something. No, but I must admit, my lord, that I do have a long-nourished desire, a wish I have. Now, if you swear on oath that you will fulfill it, then I will tell you what it is. Now, when somebody tells you what all, naturally you will say, yes, I swear, right? I mean, beautifully she was manipulating him. And then, while she said it, she also smiled at him and enticed him, and with a nice smiling face, and more with all her actions and gestures, she was actually manipulating and seducing him. And then Dasaratha, poor man, he also smiled back in reply, and then he moved a little bit closer to her. He said, "You foolish queen, for this one simple matter, why is it necessary for you to become so angry and miserable and all this, and so much anxiety and anguish that you have been causing? Here, come on, tell me. I'm telling you right now, hear this. Among all the women, Kaikeyi, you are the most dear to me. And also among men. Among men, Rama is most dear to me. Among all the women, you are most dear to me. You are both my very breath. You know this, don't you? You know this very well. And you know very well I cannot survive a single day without looking at you, and also without looking at Rama. Therefore, I swear on Rama himself, tell me what your wish is and I will fulfill it without fail." This is exactly what Kaikeyi wanted to hear, and that's what he said. When he took this oath, when he declared this oath, with both, he was clasping Kaikeyi's both hands in his hands. Then Kaikeyi now was overwhelmed with joy because she has achieved her objective. Then she got up from the floor and sat down, and she sat up. Then she even acted with more love towards Dasaratha, because she was very happy that Now Dasaratha had now changed into a well-wisher for Kaikeyi. That's what she thought. Then she asked, O king, you have now sworn on Rama. He is the witness to the oath. Is this genuine? And they were asking again to make doubly sure. And she said, Oh my lord, you are a person who keeps his word. You are the highest among all the dharmic followers. You have been blessed with might and majesty. That means you are the king with so much might. Now, you must recall in your memory the war that took place between the gods and the demons, with the asuras and the devas. But let me remind you of that, what happened there once again. That day, when the asura Sambhara slaughtered and killed everybody before him, you struggled desperately to defeat him. Now, had I not guarded you and nursed you into life that day, I was very vigilant, I was very alert, and if I had not done what I did to take care of you, you know very well what would have happened to you. So you appreciated that day, Maharaja, my devoted sacrifice to you, and you said, Kaikeyi, you rescued me from death itself. What can I give you in return? Whatever it may be, ask me 2 boons. I will fulfill them. And then I will repay the debt that I owe you. The gratitude that I really must follow, must show. Then you said that I should give you name the boons that you were willing to grant. But then I felt that you coming back to life, because she basically saved him from the claws of death that day. So when you came back to life, that was the most precious boon that I could have. So I said, oh my God, my Lord, I have no boon to ask for you right now. But I will tell you my request for them sometime later. Keep them in reserve for me, like what we say, a rain check. Then I pleaded, I requested with you. But then you were so happy at my attitude because I didn't ask for the boons. I was more interested in your welfare. And then you also admired me for my quality of that. Then you said you really, really liked the way I renounced the 2 boons. Like I was not clamoring after that. And then you told me that those boons will be kept in trust so long as our life lasts. And you said, I can draw upon them without any objection raised at any time. And all this, Maharaja, you must remember, they must be fresh in your mind, right? Are they not fresh in your mind? Now you are the king of the earth. You are faithful to the word that you have given. Therefore, give me now the 2 boons of mine that they actually belong to me, that you kept in trust on my behalf. Make me happy thereby. I do not want any new boon from you. No, no, no. I only ask what is really mine. Maharaja, I don't have to remind you. You know very well that it is a sin, the greatest sin, to refuse to give back the riches placed in trust in one's hand for safe custody. If you say now that you cannot grant them, then you will be hurting me. And with that breach of faith, I cannot bear that disappointment. Rather than live with that I would consider giving my life to be more honorable than living with the fact that you have broken your word and disappointed me. Now, when the husband does not honor the word given to his wife, how can the wishes of the people in the kingdom be realized? So who will trust whom then? Now, an emperor, if you stoop down low to deceive your own wife, making your wife believe in you, and then letting her down, now does that what message does it give the citizens? How can they trust you? All your subjects and everybody. You can let them down then tomorrow. So, you know that Manu's Dharma says, now she was quoting Manu Dharma. She says, he has said that people who go back on their word and who deceive against the word that they give, they should not be treated like kings. So, Maharaja, why should I keep on explaining this point more and more and tell you in 1,000 different ways? In case the boons are not granted this day, then Kaikeyi will not be alive at dawn. She finished like that. On saying this, she started weeping aloud and crying loud and all that. Now, Dasaratha was absolutely helpless. He was being manipulated and machinated and all that. Now he didn't know what to do. He was like an innocent deer that has been drawn into a net and by the hunter. The hunter has put a net in and the deer is caught. He doesn't know what to do. So one hand, he was overcome by the various loving gestures of his wife. And then when she looks at him lovingly with a glance and all that, he felt trapped. And then, on the other hand, he's getting this kind of message. He didn't know what to do. He told Kaikeyi, I will certainly give you the 2 boons. And then he held her palms in his hand again, very tightly. No, immediately, as soon as Dasaratha said this, I will certainly give you the 2 boons, then immediately the eyes of Kaikeyi opened wide, her face bloomed in a big smile, very bright. Then she looked at Dasaratha intently for some time before speaking. Then she said, O king, today I have realized what a good person you really are. Today, that you have proved the claim that you never go back on the word that you give, on the promise that you make. And then she started extolling and praising Dasaratha in many ways. Now, Dasaratha, who has already been enticed and seduced by her loving gestures, now is even getting more mesmerized and with all her praise to him. Because praise is like an intoxication. When somebody praises us, obviously we feel good, right? And that's what's happening to him. And then he couldn't stand it any longer. He said, Kaikeyi, why are you delaying? Come on, ask for the boons. And then Kaikeyi hesitated just to keep the tempo going. And then she stuttered. She didn't speak clearly. She stuttered. She said, now the arrangements have been made for the coronation of Rama. With the same arrangements, perform the coronation of Bharata, my son. This is the first boon that I demand. Next, Rama must wear matted hair and deerskin and dressed in tree bark attire, which is the way sannyasis live. He will go to the Dantaka forest, Dantaka Vanam, and remain there for 14 years as a forest dweller. This is the second boon that I ask for. Bharata must become the heir apparent, the Yuvaraja, with no one obstructing that path. And Rama must be sent out into the jungle before my very eyes. Grant these 2 boons, Maharaja, and maintain the honor and dignity of the Ikshvaku clan, your dynasty, untarnished. Or else, you must agree to the ending of Kaikeyi's life this very moment. Now, after saying this, declaring this, she stood up and stared without blinking her eyes in a very silent, very determined, silent manner, and she looked like a demoness, an ogress. a Rakshasi at that time. Now, the Emperor Dasaratha was crushed, was devastated by the two bolts that fell on him. Was it a dream? Could it be true? Was it Kaikeyi who asked for these two boons? Or is it a bloodthirsty monster? Is it an hallucination that I'm experiencing? Or is it some kind of a trick played by some horrid illness, a disease? He could not understand. He could not understand because this is like a bolt that hit him. It's beyond anyone's imagination that such a thing could happen. So he did not know what was happening. So he cried out loud. He said, Kaikeyi, is it you who is there? Is it really you? Or is it some Rakshasi who has assumed your form? Tell me first who you are. Now, a person who has lost control of himself, how does he behave? Just imagine, it can happen to any one of us. And then so he started sputtering words from his mouth that made no sense. And then he wanted to speak, but he could not speak. Then he rolled on the ground, a few times. He did not know what was happening. Side by side he was rolling and he was like a mad person. And his eyes were all looking all around. And then suddenly he became very angry. And then he looked at Kaikeyi with so much anger and he shouted. He said, "You evil woman, what exactly is it that you want? You want to destroy the whole royal line? What injury, what harm has my son Rama done to you? He loves you even more than he does his own mother. How could your heart agree to send my Rama into the thick, dark jungle? I took you so long to be a princess, to a queen. Now I find you are nothing but a venomous cobra," he said. "I allowed you, I brought you here, allowed you to infest my home. Now out of sheer ignorance, how could such a sinful thought even enter your mind? When Rama, the very breath of my life, is being praised, acclaimed, supported by every being that breathes. Now, if it is necessary, I am prepared to give up the empire, or even my own life I am prepared to give up. But I cannot give up Rama. No. You crave that your son be hailed as emperor? Sure, well, have him so. Who cares? Sure, I'll go to the forest with Kausalya and Sumitra and others, taking Rama with me. But I can never send Rama alone into the jungle. That's impossible, he said. Give up this atrociously false idea of yours. Sinful, evil. Give up your hatred to Rama. Kaikeyi, tell me frankly, do you really desire that things like this take place? Or are you putting up a show, an act, to find out whether I have affection towards your son Bharata? Is that why you're putting up this act? If so, you can ask that Bharata be crowned as Yuvaraja. I have no objection. But there is no meaning in asking Rama to be banished, to be exiled into the forest. Such a desire cannot be entertained or expressed. Kaikeyi, Rama is the firstborn son. He is a Jeshtaputran. He is not only that, he is the embodiment of all virtues, all gunas. Now, when he rules over the kingdom, that period will be glorious, most glorious. No, you have told me often that you're looking forward to the time when such a golden dream will come true. And now, you want the same Rama to be sent to the forest? What? Why? What is the meaning of this request from you? What is the deeper meaning? Are you joking with me? Is it all a joke? Why this all this thing which seems being taking place in the hall of anger? Why are you rolling all hard on this floor and all that? And then, jokes too, Kaikeyi, have the limit. okay, beyond which they become very cruel. No, I cannot even entertain this even if it is a joke. No, I can never be separated from Rama. Kaikeyi, you've been behaving like a very intelligent woman all these years, but now your intelligence has become warped. It has become crooked, become wicked. Such wickedness always they always happen precursor to destruction. Viparita kale vinasa buddhi. It is the greatest sin to harm and to hurt and to injure the good people. Now, the good people will not be affected by these things, but the strategies and the plots that the wicked people promote will only increase the fame and glory of the good people. Now, it may appear that it will be very difficult to bear it, but only for some little time. Only the good people's fame and reputation will get enhanced by all these wicked strategies that the evil people play on them. Your wicked plan appears to me, Kaikeyi, to be fraught with disaster to the Ikshvaku clan itself. The whole dynasty itself is going to be destroyed. Now, you have never spoken at all this time. Not one single unpleasant word have you ever uttered. Not have you ever expressed an inauspicious thought. I find it impossible, Kaikeyi, to believe that it is the same one who is asking me such things today. Kaikeyi, all along you were always afraid of going beyond the bounds of dharmic law. You were a strict follower of dharma. Now you're trying different ways to moral law, and you were always anxious and eager to win the grace of God by means of each little thought, word and deed. Whereas all this, the fear that you had of adharma, where is it gone now? What have you done with the devotion to God which kept you all along on the path of dharma up till now? What is the gain? What is the benefit you look for when you want Rama to be sent to the forest for 14 years? His body is very soft, is tender. It's like the petal of a freshly blossomed flower. He is most charming to behold. Rama is so enticingly beautiful. What profit, what gain are you going to have if he suffers unbearable pain in the forest? In this palace, there are so many attendants and maids. Can any one of them point one finger at Rama and say that Rama is faulty in any respect? No. Now, leave alone our palace. Can you bring from the capital city of Ayodhya any one, that with one single person who will blame Rama? Just one person. Now, Rama has discovered the miseries and pains of people and relieved them. He has given them gifts and riches. He has shown so much love and consideration and affection for them. He has noticed so many people who are homeless, and he has provided them with houses. By his love and care, he has won the affection of the people. That now you are harboring hatred towards him, and such a lovable and loving person that you want to send him to the forest? No. This strikes me as very dumb. I cannot find words to describe the cruelty that you have posed right now. How cruel can you be, Kaikeyi? He was asking. Then it continues along these lines, which we'll take up with Swami's grace tomorrow at the same time, because our time is up. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.